Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the faithful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on.
My name is Amanda Joan of Heart. I've had prophetic dreams, angelic encounters, revelations, and a vision from God to bring awareness to modern moral issues. I want to share my creative arts, poetry, experiences, and stories with you. God is abundantly above and beyond what we could have asked or even imagined. And the most important truth that exists is love.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
We're here today with Rob from Typical Skeptic Podcast and Wendy Besserud. She is a traffic survivor. I'm going to read you her bio here. Wendy Besserud is a courageous survivor of trafficking who is now using her voice to shine a light on the hidden world she once endured. Exploited through a fourth generational trafficker and exposed to high-profile political circles and after-parties, Wendy's story is a powerful testament to resilience and truth. She is currently involved in legal proceedings that further validate her lived experiences. Today, Wendy is committed to raising awareness, inspiring change, and standing as a beacon of hope for others still entrapped in silence. Welcome, Wendy. Thank you for coming.
Hello. No problem. Anything I can do to help.
We're so glad to have you here today. And I have to tell you, I met you at an event on the 17 movement, we'll call it, because we're on YouTube right now. And I was supposed to be interviewing someone completely different. And I was waiting for this guy. He said he'd be right back to interview, and the sun was going down. I was
Oh my God. The weirdo.
I don't know if he was a weirdo or not, but I know I was going to interview this guy, and he disappeared. And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the sun's going down. I'm not going to be able to do this interview unless he shows up pretty soon. And you came up to me. I had met you the day before, and you were like, I can do that interview if you want. And I was like, okay, well, I was supposed to be interviewing this guy, but he's not here. So we went ahead and did that interview right before the sun went down, thank God. And I got your interview at the nick of time. And I had seen that guy later on that day or that evening, and he came up to my campsite and he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He's like, the whole ride from Ohio to North Dakota, that's where we were, or was it South Dakota? Sorry. The whole ride to South Dakota. He said, I had a dream multiple times before I left for this event. And I had a dream that I had to rescue this baby calf under a fence. He said, I looked for this baby calf the whole way to South Dakota. And all of a sudden, he said, when I went to go do your interview, he said, I found the baby calf I was supposed to rescue that I dreamt about. And he said, I ended up.
He did find it.
Found this baby calf and had to rescue this baby calf. And he rescued this baby calf, and it allowed me to get your interview instead of his, which I thought was probably way more important. And thank God for that dream and all that divine encounters that happened that I was able to get your interview. So
absolutely.
That was all God inspired for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Aw, somebody said, thanks for love, truth, and joy. Love, truth, and joy. So, yeah, that was awesome. So, yeah. How you been doing?
Yeah, it was.
Or Rob, what are you, anybody?
well, I haven't heard her story yet. I didn't want to butt in, but I was going to say, can we start from the beginning and can we hear your story? Like, I know you told it on Amanda's Awaken and Unite, and people can go watch it there. But like, for my audience that might not have heard what you went through yet, could you tell us a little bit about what happened and like, if whatever you're comfortable with? I know it's probably not a comfortable story.
Okay, so I got pregnant at a young age. We'll say I was under 18. I was under 18. And a friend of mine worked at an escort service, and of course, baby daddy got locked up in county jail, and I'm living on my own. I moved out at 16. So he's threatening to take the kid and, using all the things against me. And a friend's like, look, they're not going to ask for your ID. You're pregnant. So it started there. And then I met this guy who obviously was fourth generational pimp. I didn't understand all these terms at that time.
What would you say? He was a fourth generational pimp? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, so
yeah,
like his family had been doing it for generations.
I was ring trafficked, and ring trafficking is some of the hardest trafficking because it's usually generational. Like it goes on within the family. So he was fourth generation. Like his dad, his grandpa, his great grandpa were all pimps.
Wow.
And then there was a major federal bust that we were part of. It's one of the biggest in the nation, and new laws were written after that. So that's why some people are getting like hundreds of years when they're caught with underage due to that federal case. And then, as things went on, you just kind of accept this as this is what your fate is for the world. And but even through it all, I always knew, this sounds crazy, but I always knew I had God. I always knew that. In the back of my head, that was always there. So, I was trafficked through over 40 states. Chicago was home base for a long time. I'm from Minnesota, and in working with different escort services across the nation, I found out that it's better if you say you're not from Minnesota because Minnesota girls are known across the country. We're a breeding ground, they say.
You know what? I'm finding out there's the Midwest is a lot more diabolical than people can even imagine. There's like a lot of like secret space program and crazy stuff going on in Appleton, Wisconsin, and then in Davenport, Iowa. I heard there's like an underground cloning facility, and like you just mentioned that place. I mean, it seems like the Midwest is a lot more diabolical than people can even imagine. When you first think of it, you think like it's like wholesome, like middle of America, but like it seems like there's a lot more going on there than people can even imagine,
But if you think about it, I mean, your easiest target, right, is the naive young girl who just wants to get out of her small town.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody would have gotten to me at a younger age, because I had gone through something at the age of 13, that if I can't use the word, but I lost my innocence at 13, not by my choice. And so at that point, if somebody would have come to me and been like, hey, guess what? I'd have been gone then.
Yeah.
I was blessed that it didn't happen till the age of 16, 17 years old. In that sense.
Still, probably happening at 17 years old. That's still a lot of trauma to incur, right? I mean, like.
Correct. And I was pregnant. I was a teen mom. And it was just like, well, this is how you're going to pay the bills now.
Wow.
And they'll pay more Johns will pay more for pregnant. And then they pay more after you have the baby when you're breastfeeding.
Oh, that's sick. That's really sick. The people are like that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Now, other people can put that together and understand what the whole breast milk thing can fall into, but I'm not going to say it on here. You guys know better.
Can you kind of code it, or like in a way that like what
Well, some people would just straight up want to buy your breast milk.
Is it because of what's in it? Is it like because of the nutrients and stuff that's in it, or you know?
Mm-mm. I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. Amanda, do you want to pipe in at all?
So you can say it. You can talk about the breast milk. I don't care.
Well, I know there's like the acrone.
What do they do with this breast milk? Do I want to know? I know that they like this whole. Yeah, I remember you telling me all this stuff. This is crazy.
Spirit cooking.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't think of that. Yeah. And for the audience that doesn't know about spirit cooking, can you tell them a little bit about it? Like,
yeah, tell me, because I'm just, this is all new to me. I don't know about no spirit cooking.
The best thing I can say is go down the rabbit hole with Abramovich. She does a lot of spirit. She does a lot of spirit cooking. She uses breast milk and blood when she does it. So
it's because of like it's like it goes into like what's in the
while this was going on, you got to remember they kept me in the dark, so they kept me asleep. I didn't know that that's what it was being used for. It was after I came out of trafficking and learned what some of these things really meant that I went, whoa.
Wow. Yeeks.
It's scary. It really is.
Yeah. And then, so, I mean, I was trafficked all over the country. I was in Florida in 2001, West Palm area. Obviously, there's a name I'm not saying, but I was to the house, not the island.
You've been to that house then?
You've been to the Epstein house? You can just say.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And I was again a few years later, but I was older. And when I went in that time, I was too old, so I was paid and told to leave.
Wow.
How old were you?
24.
That's
crazy.
You know, most guys would like, think a 24-year-old woman is like pretty hot, but like, for sickos and stuff out there, they want younger. That's really disturbing,
Right.
I think you told me 18 was too old at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, the first time I was there, I was borderline and I was like 20, 21, right on the edge of 21.
Oh man, that's
so it's kind of like if you can, I don't know. I used to have this saying, if you can drink, you can think, and they don't want you. And I was never a drinker.
Yeah. It's disturbing how sick these people are,
Now, here there's an odd thing with the escort services in Florida, specifically Hollywood, Florida, and the Miami area and Palm West Palm, like that whole from like Palm West Palm down to Miami and the Keys. If you work for any of the escort services down there, you sign up for a 12-hour shift. You get in a car with one of their drivers and you sit. When they book the call, it's booked for $200. 50 of that automatically goes to the driver. 100 of that goes to the service. You're left with 50. So you've got to work whoever you're there with to get the rest of your money for the night, because your pimp's going to be mad if you only come home with $50 out of that call.
So wait a minute, you got to pay out the pimp and you got to pay out the service. So it's like a double tax on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's sickening, you know.
And the driver.
And you're giving up your body.
I'm
sorry, I was just saying, you're just going to do this. It's your body, like, you know. It's like, and people are profiting off of women's, like, you know, that's horrible.
And then even that 50 that I'd be left with, every dime of that had to go back to my pimp.
Jesus.
And I better have more than that, because otherwise I wasn't working. I was being lazy. What the heck was I doing?
Wow.
I remember you telling me that you came home with over, I think, $1,000, and your pimp still rolled you up and threw you down the stairs and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't enough.
I brought home 40 grand in a month out of Fargo, North Dakota, and that wasn't enough.
Holy shit. The Amy Rizzo in the chat says, keeping the poor girls starving and sick. It's a good point, right? That's what they do.
Yep. And I ended up with a major medical emergency, and I ended up in the hospital. Now, you guys already heard me say I don't drink. I've never been a drinker. My father was a chronic alcoholic. He died from alcohol. I've never been a drinker. I ended up in the emergency room, full-blown liver failure. That's how I found out I had lupus.
I have
after I got it.
What did you get liver failure? I mean, I have what's called fatty liver, you know, because it's like a non-alcoholic. I think it was because I was an addict, you know? But like, what happened with your liver failure?
I was diagnosed with lupus.
Wow.
And then continued to be trafficked through that. Like, there were Johns coming to the hospital. Halliburton, the oil company, they used to send a huge bouquet of flowers. Every time my flowers started to die, Halliburton was sending a new bouquet.
Wow. That's
because I was up in the oil fields a lot in North Dakota too.
Yeah. William Welsh in the chat says, did you ever meet Marina Abramovic?
No, not that I can remember.
And I just wanted to go back to your liver condition. Like, people don't understand how rough it is when you have a liver condition. Like, you know, it can mess up. Your liver basically controls the whole body. You know, like, it cleans out your whole system, right? So if your liver's not bad, then your whole body's bad.
No, I woke up after like, I think they kept me in a medically induced coma for like 27 days or something like that. But when I woke up, I was an Incredible Hulk green.
Can I ask you a question? Do you remember anything when you were in the coma?
No. Well, I remember a couple things. I remember waking up and my eyes, the whites of my eyes, being all bloodshot red from throwing up in my sleep. And I can remember running such a high fever that buzzers were going off, and they came in and they were packing ice around me because my fever was so high. And And I remember opening my eyes and seeing, and this isn't anything, this is just what my mind. I saw an Asian doctor, male Asian doctor, who looked at me and said, "You are one sick kid." That's all I remember. Well, and then anytime I'd open my eyes, if the board said NPO, it meant I could not eat or drink anything. And I would be like, just let me go back to bed. If I can't eat or drink nothing, put me back to sleep. And then when I did wake up, Easter had already passed and people had come and brought Easter gifts and whatever. And when they came to let me know that, I'm like, I had a huge argument. Like, I was pissed off. There was no way Easter had already passed. What are you talking about? I came in here in March. So my mom, no, my family didn't even know I was in the hospital till I'd been in there almost 4 weeks.
Wow. Were you able to get the lupus under control and stuff like that?
Well, to the best of my ability now, yeah. I mean, things are out of control right now because I just lost my emotional support pug over my birthday in September, so I need to go in. I'm going in on Friday and having all the levels and everything checked, but I know they're out of whack.
Yeah. You had some surgery in the last year or so? Two?
Oh, I'm also coming up on a year since we had a major fire and I lost everything, so
So.
Just some comments from the chat. Amy Rizzo says lupus is rough. I'm sorry, sweetheart. She says you're in my prayers. And Danny L33 says thank you for your bravery, Wendy.
no problem. You guys, I am on TikTok. It's the one place, oddly enough, that I've been able to connect with people one-on-one and answer questions. I'd like to do more of it, but unfortunately, right now it's Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and I do sell on there as well. So, but I'm always open and available to anybody. I go live. I open boxes in the middle of the night for people who can't sleep like myself, and we hang out. But I basically show people things that help with my anxiety and coping skills is what I sell. So
what's your handle?
Sorry, man. Go ahead.
What's your handle on TikTok so people can find you?
I'll subscribe now.
Yeah, let me look and make sure I've got it exactly.
I was gonna say, but people don't know is there's a whole world of TikTok at night. Like it's there's like people doing
especially at night.
Yeah, it's like there's a lot of stuff going on TikTok at night.
At Wendy Jean 2.0. I come up as misunderstood, but the at is at Wendy.Jean 2.0.
Oh, I got it. I found you. I just followed you.
Awesome.
Yeah. So what's some of your crazy experiences at that house there in Florida that you were in, or anything you want to tell us about that, or any other political parties?
Well, another experience that I mean is very easily understandable being a Minnesota girl is there was a Republican National Convention in St. Paul. Was that in 2012, 2011? Is that when McCain had the Republican National Convention here? I'm sorry. I don't remember exact dates, you guys, but there was a Republican National Convention in St. Paul, and there were I would get calls and get to these hotel rooms, and I would have to show my ID to Secret Service in order to get in the door. I don't even know who some of these people were.
Right. So you felt maybe
You know?
some of them were involved or something's going on with that.
Well, if I had to show my ID to Secret Service, I mean, come on. So there was that, and I was again in Florida a third time. I was actually in Atlanta, Georgia when Tiger Woods had his whole moment with the car crash and everything, which lines up with some parties that we went to in Miami, which are also controversial. You know, he's in jail right now, but
He is in jail right now?
yeah, it's a major name.
Oh.
I could just say baby oil and y'all can put it together.
Oh gosh, P Diddy.
But you could be at those. You could be at those and go unnoticed by some of those major people.
Wow.
Because you were brought in with someone else.
Right. And your traffickers, you know, not going to give you up probably. Right.
Right. When they talk about these hotel parties where they would rent out like the presidential suite. So there was some different groups you could be a part of, and they called themselves hobbyists. This is their hobby, okay? Like golfing. Golfing is a hobby. This was their hobby. So they would get the presidential suite at like a really nice hotel, and then they'd rent out a few of the other rooms. And what the guys would do is they would pay either $300 or $500 to the concierge, and they would get these gift cards, and then the girls would be there. So if they decided they liked you, they'd come over and ask you if you wanted to go to a room. They'd go pay the concierge $40 for a key for the room. The $300 was a half hour, the $500 was an hour. They gave you the gift card, and then after you were done, you went back to the concierge and you gave her the gift card, and she'd give you your $300 or $500. So there was no money transaction between you and him, so it wasn't illegal. It was gift card. See how they literally skipped the line on that? And then they'd have all the booze and all the whatever you wanted in there, which I never if I got involved in that, the pimp would have known, and that would have been a problem. Like, I couldn't be doing stuff like that. I could smoke pot if I wanted to, but. So there's also that goes on, and I mean, you could go to one of those and walk out with 10 grand in a night.
Wow.
How many of those do you think you've been to?
Probably 7 or 8. And then in Minnesota, it's not local law enforcement that deals with prostitution bust.
Yeah.
It's Department of Homeland Security. It's the FBI. So how deep does it have to go? Like, I know just recently, like maybe in the last 7 days, there was a major bust out of Bloomington, Minnesota. I believe they caught 35 Johns, and I don't remember. But if you look into it, It's not the local law enforcement. Yeah, they had to be involved, but it's Department of Homeland Security. How often are they seeing what's really going on? Like, the cops see more of it than they do, and they have to turn a blind eye to it because they're not involved with it.
Yeah, they'll get in trouble. I heard if you tried to rescue a traffic victim right now, if I went out and tried to rescue somebody, I could go to jail. I couldn't even believe it when this person told me
That's wild.
He said that you cannot just go rescuing traffic victims. You can go to jail and it's illegal. I'm like, what? What kind of world are we living in?
Yeah, really.
You know?
Well, I got a good one for you. Minnesota has changed the rules here. If you get busted for prostitution here now, you have to register as a sex offender.
Wow.
Instead of trying to help somebody out of it, you're gonna make it worse on them.
Right.
Like, I don't know if they're trying to do that to deter the prostitution, but that's not gonna deter no misdemeanor. I'm sorry. That's the one.
It's a bigger part of a bigger plan to keep people trapped. They have different ways where they entrap people, and then they keep people in the system, and they keep people, you know what I mean? Like, it's like a whole,
Yep.
you know.
And they want to keep you asleep too. Like, they do not want you awake and opening your eyes to anything that's going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know. That's one thing they also were able to manipulate, is I was able to keep other people asleep because I was asleep.
Mm-hmm. So you've been going to these political parties and these escort service like things with gift cards and like, what was your day to day? Did you do that all the time, or was that weaved in with other, having to sit on the side of the corner or be a streetwalker type of thing, or what? How was your life like on a yearly basis, I guess? And how many years has this gone on? Can you hear?
What happened?
Can you hear me?
She froze up or something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
Oh. Okay,
So,
can you hear me now? You want to put it on Do Not Disturb real quick?
There we go. Okay.
Okay, did you hear what I said, or?
It cut out a second because my phone rang.
Okay, so I was just asking, like, what was your life like on a yearly basis? Like, did you do, how many of these parties did you do a year, and like
I would just pick up a car at the beginning of the month usually, and some guy's name, not even my pimp's name, because I didn't have a valid driver's license during any of this, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't even pay. He wouldn't even pay the $2,300 it would have cost to get me valid.
Wow.
So, the rental car was never in my name, and I would basically leave state and go wherever, and I'd come back at the end of the month when the car would need to be turned in. Every day it was constant MoneyGrams. This was back when you could send MoneyGram or Western Union and pick up without an ID under $1,000. And FedExing money back home. And when he was in jail, I had to talk to him every day, and we had code on how much I made that day. And when he got out, there was a suitcase full of money, and Even while he was in there, he had control of me.
Wow.
What would have
that's
happened
horrible.
if you would have tried to leave or something? Would somebody else yoke you up on his behalf or what?
They were all watching. The ones that were out.
Mm-hmm. So,
And if it wasn't them, it was their women watching.
so it was like
And
a
his mom.
Wow.
His mom
family
was.
or whatever, keeping an eye out, knowing your roundabouts, what you're doing, where you're going.
Yep, and the manipulation of you gotta keep the family together. You gotta keep the family together. Keep that house in order. Keep that house in order.
Hmm.
So made sure the mortgage was paid, and I mean it's not his mom lived there with me, his brother, like
So, did you fall in love with your pimp too? Were you in love with him? Did he have you like trauma bonded like that, or how? Because
yeah,
I know these
yeah.
narcissists and trauma bonds are real, and they're very hard to get out of. It's like a high, and like they pull so much narcissist stuff and make you think like they're the only ones that'll love you and take care of you and make sure nothing happens to you, but then they're beating your ass the next second or whatever, like these narcissist relationships are real, man. I experienced a few, and it's I can't even believe what people are capable of being. The love bombing and then throwing you away and discarding you, and the trauma bond is just sick. I don't even
The
understand it. I don't even understand how people can act like that.
the second you're so broken and ready to leave, then it's oh hey come on let's go, and you're off to the Cartier store and they're closing all the shades and locking the doors so that you two can be in there shopping.
So they would like bribe you. They would bribe you to stay and keep doing what you're doing, kind of.
Well, the high that you get from going into a Cartier store and having them shut it down for you, and you're like, I'm nobody, I'm just here with him. But they
Yeah.
literally shut the store down for us to go shopping so other people couldn't come in while we were in there.
Making you feel special, right?
Yeah, and then, buys you a $3,000 pair of glasses, and some broad's just gonna steal them anyways, right? Sorry, it is what it is. Or they're gonna end up pawned later because you had a bad night and oh shoot, I gotta make some money. And then he's going, where'd your glasses go? Someone stole them. Like, I don't know what to say. So it would be things like that. It was like the second you're ready to go, they know. And they'll make sure that they put you on such a euphoric high that you're like, oh, well, I guess it's not that bad.
Hmm.
You're also afraid of, what this evil is. You don't know when you leave what's out there. You don't know. And you're scared to death it's worse.
Right.
And your family has abandoned you. Your friends don't talk to you because you've been cut off from all of them for years. Towards the end, it came down to the point where I was basically in a bedroom for like the last 4 years and only was allowed to come out to do what I needed to do. And one night he called his brother and he said, can you get one of them pew pews? And it's the only way I can get rid of this problem. And you guys, I was so hidden by things, I didn't even know how to make a group messenger on Facebook. And I reached out to somebody and I'm like, I need a group messenger and I need someone to get in their car and get to Fargo. Now, someone who's going to have to make a 4-hour drive. It was 8 p.m. and I needed them there by 7:30 in the morning when he woke up. And I said, if I walk out the door with my dog, my purse, and a bag of dog food and that's it, I don't care. Everything I pretty much had was in that room. And they showed up at 7:15 as he rolled out of bed, and I walked out the door, and I never looked back, and that's how I left. Then
Wow.
I continued to talk to the pimp. He would still hold the carrot in front of me and play the little, oh, I missed you. And so then I'd get in the car and I'd be with him for a couple days. But now it was 2017. And I was 37 years old, and there were new executive orders written in 2017 in regards to human trafficking, and doors started shutting on me, and it became near impossible for an old hooker like me to get out the door. So thank God for those executive orders, because 2017 is when I got out of trafficking.
Wow.
And you said the man in the Oval Office helped you, right? With that.
Well, if you put it together, 2017 is when them executive orders were written, and they can all be looked up. I'm no good with telling you numbers and what they are and whatever, but I know they're there. It might be 9. I say 7 to be safe because if I oversay it, then people go, "She don't even know how many there were." Well, there were executive orders written. Know that, and it was because of them that was not able to get out the door. Another thing big that we need to fight is I'm fighting Section 230. Right now with the legal case that I'm on, there's a lot more people who need to be held accountable. Craigslist, Backpage, Room Service 2000, all these different places that I paid for advertising, we cannot go against them because Section 230 protects them.
What does that say, that section say? Do you know exactly? Or?
It's something about protecting the rights online. I don't have it right in front of me, and it's been a long time since I had to look and deal with it, but I deal with it with my lawyers a lot. And one of the Supreme Court justices, I think it might be Justice Thomas, actually wants to see Section 230 in the Supreme Court in regards to human trafficking. I think that's who it is.
So how many times did you try to leave before you actually left, you think?
I really didn't. The one time, and then of course, when I left, but then I still had ties with him for about a year and a half, kind of just off and on here and there, but not directly with him all the time. And because you got to remember, when my doors shut, it became very hard for him to get a girl out the door. So, and he didn't know why. I knew why, and I didn't tell him. So he got to the point where he lost the house that I had paid for.
Wow.
He was living out of his car. Basically had streetwalkers at this point and whatever he could do to keep gas in the car and whatever. So I'd feel bad and I'd have a regular I could go see for a couple $100 and he could go be taking care of himself for like a week or a couple days or whatever. So that's what it got down to. And then I think he ended up realizing all the doors shut. He ended up finding Jesus and he's now not trafficking either, as far as I know.
Right. That's what my next question was going to be. Where is he at now? What happened to him?
He's living way up north by Duluth, I believe, in the Duluth, Minnesota area. And he's living by himself and he's breeding dogs. Just another form of trafficking, but
he's not fighting
trafficking.
Dogs, is
he? Nope. He's against fighting.
Okay, that's good. That's big money too. You know, you think you might go from one high.
Well, that's just it. Is he went from trafficking one thing to another. I kind of feel like, but he's got amazing dogs, and they've got a great lineage, and he's doing well with them, as far as I know. So I haven't talked to him in 6 years.
That's good.
I don't know. Yep.
How many times on an average, like, were you beaten a week or a month or something like that?
I was lucky. I'd leave. He would stay in Minnesota. When I would get that rental car, I would get it so I could leave. I didn't have to be here. So it would depend, you know. If I came home and was a good girl, everything would be fine, and I could get a car and be on my way out the door.
And you told me it was like, because when I met you, it was like the whole mask thing was going on. Everybody had to wear masks and stuff. And you told me that was me.
I wouldn't.
My whole life, it was like I had a mask on because I talked too much or something like that. And I would literally have to hold my hand over my mouth all the time so that I wouldn't talk. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a traffic victim is like, you can't talk. And you were telling me how you need a text line. These traffic victims need a text line so that they can text because they can't talk.
Same with domestic violence. Domestic violence and people being trafficked. They can't be heard when they're trying to leave.
Yeah. So
the other hard thing is there's so many bad organizations out there. I'm at a loss for who I could say you could even reach out to if you are being trafficked. Because too many of them are connected to money that I don't trust.
And you said something about that pizza. I won't say the last.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean,
that whole thing
I'm a survivor. Yeah, I'm a survivor of pizzas.
Right. You got to say it like that. Yeah. You're a survivor of pizza. So, yeah.
I stayed at the same Hyatt on the legal proceedings that is absolutely involved. That's the same Hyatt that Marine One would land on in like 2009, 2010. They had a helipad there, and Marine One would land there, and that was right downtown Chicago off of Wacker Drive, Upper Wacker.
Rob, you got anything? Oh, go ahead.
Another place that occasionally you would have to show ID to Secret Service.
Okay. And where were you
It was
going?
never him, but it was obviously somebody within the cabinet or somewhere.
Wow. You have it's an amazing story. Thank God you're out of it, like, I mean, like, and look what you've been able to turn your life around, and you've been able to do stuff on TikTok. You have a big follow. I saw you have like 17,000 followers on TikTok. That's awesome. Like,
Wow.
like, I
Are
mean,
you sure?
so
Do you
you,
have no? Do you have the right? You don't have the right account. I've got like 8,000.
okay,
Hang on.
okay,
I
okay.
mean,
Sorry. Maybe it was like 17,000 likes. You got like 17,000 likes. Yeah.
There it
oh
is.
yeah, 17,000 likes. Ironically,
Hold it up to the
17K.
camera again. Hold it up to the camera again so everybody can see that. Okay.
So you guys can follow her on TikTok.
And I will follow you all back, and I'm open. Like, feel free to ask questions.
I'm gonna have to get this cat out of this room because he keeps driving me nuts. Rob, you go ahead, take it away. I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. Well, go ahead. Is there any other things you wanted to share while we're,
It's a
well, let's talk
lot.
about this. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Does anyone have any questions? That's a lot easier for me
Oh, there
because
was there was one that I don't know if you would, okay. So like, this doesn't have to do with the trafficking, but my audience is like real, like I talk a lot about UFOs and the paranormal and conspiracies and stuff like that.
cool.
So yeah, like, have you ever had any like paranormal or UFO experiences or anything like that you can remember, or anything weird like a spiritual
Okay,
awakening or
okay,
anything?
you guys, okay, I'm currently going through something that I don't understand. So maybe
Okay.
you guys understand it. Okay, I'm gonna start with my dad. In 2018, I was sitting outside. It was during the day, and I was praying, and because I was kind of asking God, at what point do I let go of let go of my dad and see him as a brother in Christ, right? And I was really struggling over this question because my dad's a chronic alcoholic and has been on and off the wagon. So I'm like, at what point do I have to let go of dad and look at him just as a brother in Christ? And I had audible words that I say are from God that I was being prepared to lose my dad in 3 years. That was August of 2018, and my dad died July 29th of 2021. 6 months before he died, I reached out to people who lived near him and said, please try and convince him to go in and have his lungs checked. And 6 months later, my dad stopped breathing.
Wow.
5 days, 5 days after his pug died.
Wow.
Now, earlier you heard me say I lost my emotional support pug over my 45th birthday in September. And for about 2 or 3 weeks before she passed away, I was having lucid nightmares about what am I going to do when my dog dies? I am not going to be okay.
Yeah.
And then she died. So I keep getting these feelings that I'm like, I don't want to speak that into existence. But then it happens.
That happens to a lot of us. So what's going on is you're psychic, and you're coming into your abilities. Like
But
now,
but why
and
do
like
they keep showing me the death part?
it happens to all of us. Like for me, for example, like when I was starting to like come into my abilities, like I that's what happened. Like I would just get like premonitions of like bad things that were going to happen, and unfortunately, sometimes a lot of bad stuff happens to a lot of us here. But like you can tap into your abilities, and you can get premonitions about the good stuff too. Like
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I think some of those are there too, but because these death ones are so relevant and they hurt and they do things to me physically that I can't handle.
Yeah.
I've had dreams.
Something like a lot of times when you go through trauma, it opens up a part of your psyche that can activate psychic abilities, and it seems like you went through a lot of trauma, and that can, I'm a firm believer in that. I really believe that trauma can do something and activate abilities and stuff, dormant abilities, and I think we all have abilities. It's just however we tap into them, or however we, whatever, something could happen. I don't know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's so new to me that I'm scared to tell people. But people like Amanda and some other people who've known me for years now have always said, no, you've got this psychic thing and it's coming too, but I don't understand it. And
Oh,
I
so
don't
Amanda's
know.
too. Yeah, it's cool. That's really cool.
Well, she called it 5 years ago.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. And I just have been trying to understand, and understanding in silence alone is really hard.
Yeah.
Because as a firm believer in Jesus Christ, it's hard for me to speak on it when I feel those things, because then I'm afraid it's just that much more likely to happen.
JB Light in the
Right.
audience says, he says, death is a transmuting and preparing you for the events of intense transformational moments.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah.
And God uses everything, so maybe you're gonna be doing other things to where you can't have a dog, and you're gonna not
That's what I think.
be a burden or whatever. You're gonna be doing new things, and you're gonna need to maybe travel, and bringing a dog with you just wasn't in the cards. I had a dog for 16 years and lost my dog, and in those years that dog was gone, I was getting it, girl. Like I don't know how I ever took a dog with me all those places. So it had purpose, but always listen to, if for me, one day I just needed my dog. It was like a year and at that point, I don't know, it was a couple years my dog was gone, and one day I just needed my dog, and my dog was dead, and I went to I was like, I'm just gonna go in this pet store, I'm gonna get my fix. There's no way I'm doing another dog. It's just too much. That's like 16 years of all kinds of things that you have to incorporate to having a dog. And so
Yeah.
I was like, no freaking way am I getting a dog. And I just needed my dog like that day. And I went into this pet store and I met my dog that I have now, and I was like playing with him, and he was different from the other dogs, and he looked identical in the face to my other dog. And I'm like, this is weird. This dog looks identical to my other dog, and it standing out to me. I sat in that pet store for 2 days and was like, shit, I gotta get this dog, And thank God I got this dog, because he's been nothing but amazing, and got in the car with me and started traveling with me all over the place. But you got to listen to that, because the right one will find you, but you got to listen to that intuition, that inner nudging, when that time is right to find your next soulmate animal.
Yeah.
Relationship.
No, and it's not right now. The one thing I will say is it did open the door for a little bit of freedom for me. I am blessed in the fact that my fiance, if I looked at him and said, look, I need to go out to Ohio and help Amanda for a week, he'd be like, okay, well, he'd just want to know I was okay and what the plan was. He wouldn't care, but there's nothing holding me here. Like, if I needed to get up and go to Texas to see someone, if I needed to go anywhere, I need to go to my mom's for a week, I can. Like, it doesn't matter. I can do. So that's where I'm like, my fight or flight is high right now, and I tell people, don't even tempt me. I will be on the next thing out of here,
Yeah.
So I do. I think right now is just not time for another dog, and God bless her. She was the best road dog. She saved my life many times. And
No.
I
Did
got a
you?
couple questions for you about your TikTok stuff. Like, what do you like to do most on TikTok and talking? Were you able to get monetized on there? Because I'm a content creator and I'm on a bunch of different places and like I only have
so
1,000 followers on TikTok right now and I'm trying to figure out like what's the best way to get monetized on there and go live because like right now I can't hook up my TikTok to like the regular streams and I'm trying to figure all that out. Like, like I don't know.
for you as a content creator, you are going to want to work on putting out videos that are a minute long. I say a minute and 5 seconds. And working towards getting your 10,000 followers. But they could offer the creator program to you earlier. I'm on a different program. I am on the TikTok shop. So I'm not monetized necessarily off of my videos. Now, you can get monetized before 10,000 and I can teach you how to. It's in when you put your posts up, you want to make sure that go live is on there. And when people click that go live, they don't have to go live. All they gotta do is click that thing. I think it's 1,000 clicks gets you $200.
What?
So if you've got people,
that's pretty good.
Yeah. And that's without having 10,000 followers.
Yeah.
So I've got TikTok shop. So a lot of times at night I go live. When we came on, I was actually doing one of them. I was doing one of them to calm my nerves when we started, but I do a product that I enjoy. I don't get a high commission on it, but it helps with my anxiety, so I will show you guys. Let me get this one out.
That's cool. I like it. I think it's so cool that you were able to come out of what you did and do this. I think it'll show people
it's
that
a
people
picky
can do
pad. So you literally pick these out of here. It helps with people's anxiety. Some people are skin pickers. Just stray from that. I've got another one that's a strand pulling, so people who pull their own hair out or have trick, they can pull strand. So I do a lot of sensory fidget type stuff sales. Of course, I review a lot of K-Beauty and I've got a lot of supplements on there and stuff like that. But when I go live, it's usually sensory fidget products or fun stuff that I enjoy that calms my nerves.
Have you found a lot of good supplements for your health and stuff?
I do like to go with small businesses is another thing that I like to promote.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
Well,
but yeah, I found a lot of things that help with mental health, anxiety, ADHD, just different things that and I'm always around, like I'm on every night for at least 2 hours, so
Wow, that's cool. That's really cool. I think that's
yeah.
motivational. That shows people that you can turn your life around and do something, positive. Like I love that you did that,
Yeah. Now, do I make a lot of money? No. But I enjoy what I do and I get to show other people how that there's some things out there that might help them with their own anxiety or mental health.
that's awesome.
I love that. That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I got a ton of beauty companies that are like, please go live for us. They'll give me 30% commission. And I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to stress myself out. I want to hang out with my friends and do something that relaxes me for 2 hours. And then they get to see something that might help them.
Yeah.
So you
And
think like I
then
should
sometimes but you could also go live. And how do I explain going live on TikTok? If you just take the platform of the truther platform and not being left or right leaning on anything, you're gonna do amazing. Just put the truth out there because people are looking for what you're putting out. And I can't think of anybody going live. I've been looking for someone who goes live and does paranormal stuff, I'm not gonna lie. Because my audience is like, they're a bunch of crime junkie freaks and paranormals, and they're like, don't we have somebody we can go check out that's going live doing paranormal stuff? And I'm like, I don't know anybody that I trust that's doing it for real. Like,
Me and Typical Skeptic can do it.
I'm looking for someone to start going live. You know, that it's you know, I don't want to go live by myself on there. But for some reason you can't hook up TikTok to like what we're streaming on now, StreamYard. Like for whatever reason you can't hook up TikTok to StreamYard. Like it's like TikTok's like a separate thing. You have to go live on it. Like you have to do a whole separate thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how.
What you could do, and I know some other YouTubers do this, is they'll set up a separate device and be live on TikTok and be live on their YouTube. Now, I don't understand this platform, but just having the two different devices and they're live on this one and
smart.
live on the other one.
There you go, right there. Genius.
You gotta figure that out.
Yeah.
Now here's the thing. People will throw gifts at you when you're live.
Yeah. They do that on Bigo, too.
Like,
my friend Amy goes live on Bigo, and they give people a lot of gifts and stuff on there, too. It's it's like money, right? It's like right? Yeah.
Yep. So it all helps. And I do a lot of multi-guest in the middle of the night where my people will show up like, all right, boxes are open. We'll chat for a few minutes. We might listen to a little bit of music, and they literally will go to sleep on me. I have to mute them out. They show up because their mind can't go to sleep without being in that box. The other night, I had someone show up in my sales live, and he was like, you haven't done boxes in a long time. Will you please do boxes tonight? And I said, yeah, no problem. Give me an hour, and I'll come back on, and I'll do boxes. I came back on an hour later. I had a couple people who came in, immediately went to sleep. They didn't even hang out to listen. But the one person who asked me told me that his mom was just diagnosed with stage 4 cancer and was given like 60 days to live. He literally needed somebody to sit with him. I sat with him for hours until I got tired, and then I got up and I just left. I left TikTok going and it was facing me, but I went and laid down and went to sleep myself. And in the comments, I just said, when a friend asks you to sit with them, you do whatever it takes to sit with them. So anybody who came in saw that that's what was going on.
Aw.
Yeah.
That's the labor of love right there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to talk about TikTok more, me, you, and Rob, and we'll maybe you could show us, and we'll get on a Zoom, and you can show us or help us, and let's try to do something one day. All right?
Yeah, we should.
But,
we really should. That's a whole other audience we can tap into.
Yeah.
And it's a huge audience right now.
It is. It's the biggest audience. It's bigger than YouTube. You know what I mean? And you can grow on there fast. It's like
I agree.
I'm trying to figure out a way to tap into it. That's why I was so interested in
Come and hang out. If you see, I'm gonna do boxes tonight. I'm gonna actually set an event after we get off here. It'll be late, so it'll be the middle of the night. But even if you throw your account into my boxes, you might catch a few more followers. And if you're awake, hang out, talk, just ask questions. I'm available.
What time is late?
For me, it'll probably be 1 a.m., but that's 1 a.m. Central Time.
Central Time.
That's
and then
hang. That's like,
Yeah,
I'm usually up
but
at like
but are you an early bird though? What time do you get up?
I'm both. I see. That's why, like, yeah, if you saw me a little bit earlier, I was falling asleep. Like, I stay up real late, then I wake up real early. I don't sleep much at all, And then, like, I'm sometimes
Okay,
people say, like I'm falling asleep during the
part of the
interview.
reason why I go on at 1 a.m. is it's the sweet spot for me in Central Time. It is 11 a.m. on the East Coast. It's 2 a.m. It's 11 a.m. p.m. on the West Coast, and it's 2 on the East Coast, and I'm on for hours. So by my 3 a.m., it's 4 a.m. on the East Coast, and I say them coffee drinkers on the East Coast start getting up at 4 a.m.
That's me. And I'm up at like 5
And
to 6 a.m.
so
making
I'm,
coffee. Yeah.
yep, I'll be on. So when you get up in the morning, check and see if I'm on. If I'm on, come on in.
Yeah, that's cool. And I just wanted to tell you, the
So
audience
you
is
don't
really
have to
liking.
be there at night because I hit the morning too.
Yeah, I just wanted to tell you, the audience is really liking your interview. Amy Rizzo says, "Wendy, you're a sweet soul." So they're really
Oh, thank you,
resonating.
Amy Rizzo. I hope you reach out on TikTok if you're on there. Please do. I would love to meet any of you.
And somebody else asked if
My
you.
feet are tingling. Hey, you paranormal people. My feet are tingly.
Uh-oh. Itch 'em. No.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but hey guys, my feet are tingly.
That can mean you're a little bit lucky. That can mean that you have some luck coming your way. I don't know. I know when your left hand itches or your right hand itches, that means you're getting luck. That means money or luck's going to come your way. But I don't know about the feet.
Mm-hmm.
Odd, I had a psychic come into my sales live the other night and she said, I was sent here to tell you big things are coming. And I know this lady. She doesn't know anything that's gone on. And I'm like, what?
Wow. Yeah, so anything else you want to share with us that you think we need to know about this whole being trafficked and things, or what to watch out for, or anything you want to share from your mind or heart about any of this? And
Anybody who's truly interested in the nitty-gritty of it, I highly recommend Kathy O'Brien's 3-book series. It's available on eBay, and I know she is the one selling it directly. You can send her a message on eBay like, hey, is this really Kathy O'Brien? It's really her. Her 3 books are absolutely incredible. If you're going through trauma yourself, there's some great stuff there. And if you don't know who Kathy O'Brien is, go listen to her 3-hour YouTube. It is amazing.
I have a interview with
I've had her
her.
on
Yeah.
the podcast. She's amazing. Yeah, I've only
Yeah,
had her on once.
Yeah.
I have had her on. Yeah.
She is the
I like her a
sweetest
lot.
soul, man, to me. She is so
Yeah.
an angel. I have her in my Montauk. I think it's part 5 or 6 of the UFO and Disclosure documentary. She's in. I think it's part 5 or 6 about Project. I think was it not Montauk? Shoot, Pit.
You can probably watch it free now, but
and something mind control, something. Yeah, definitely check out that piece. It's beautiful.
that what is it called? 1,000 Pieces? That one she's in is really good too.
Yeah.
And I think you can probably get that one free now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she sent me the code so that I was able to watch it for free when I ordered the books.
Mm-hmm.
But I think now it's been around long enough that people can find it probably on Rumble or somewhere for free. But it's something into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, I know.
It's a quote from JFK.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Wendy also has a beautiful documentary on. I have a traffic victim survivors share basically, and she has her full documentaries on the Truth or Content page at awakenandunite.com. And then I also have a piece of her in the Awakening Revolution documentary on the documentaries page. It's I forget what part, but just go to the part that says traffic victims, survivors. And yeah, I have her weaved in with another survivor of sex trafficking, and that lady's story is completely different than yours. So it's just there's these stories vary. They're all different. It's just no one's experience is the same. There's no cookie cutter traffic victim. There's so many different ways you can be exploited and trafficked, unfortunately, and it's really sad. And we got to wake up to the different ways that these women are, and even men, now and children are being trafficked. And
one organization that we do know of, Amanda, that I do trust is out of South Dakota, and it's from traffictotreasure.com.
That is my friend. That's who you're weaved in with in the documentary.
Yep.
So she's the one that is
and
you, and
her book.
Wow. Yep. She has
her book. I felt like I was reading my own story when I read her book.
Yeah, it was wild. Yeah. So and I'm so glad that I was able to meet you and get to know you as a friend. We've, went to a few different
places.
We
went through heck and back.
And we always keep in touch, and it's been an awesome journey just getting to know you and your story, and just I love you as a sister and as a friend, and you're just amazing and just beautiful all the way around.
As are you.
So yeah, I love you, darling. I'm glad we got to finally do this. We've been talking about it long enough.
I know. Now that I know it's so easy, I mean, anytime you guys want me back, let me know. I'm more than happy. And I'm more than happy to teach you guys what I know over on TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. I feel like there's plenty of room on that app for everybody to make money, and there's no reason to hide anything. Like, that's just me. But that's me. I've always helped everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's cool. I replied to you on TikTok already. Yeah, I definitely want to talk to you about going live on there and stuff, like for sure.
Yeah. Definitely. Does the chat? Does anyone in your guys' comment sections have any questions?
Somebody asked if you had ET or paranormal experiences, and I don't know if you answered that when I left the room or not, or have you had anything?
Yeah, we just talked about some of these feelings that I keep telling you about, or how I keep.
Yeah, I don't really know of you telling me any ET stories, but phone me if you get any, and let me know.
No, it doesn't mean I haven't. There might be experiences that I didn't even know they were there.
Yeah.
Just being unfamiliar with that world, but I'm open to that world. I'm not closed to anything by any means.
And tell us about your shoes that's in the documentary I made with you. Tell us about these shoes.
So when I met Amanda, I had tennis shoes on, and those were the first pair of tennis shoes I had owned since I was like 16, 17 years old. I wore stilettos for, I don't know, 21 years. And then towards the end of our little vacation weekend, I donated the shoes off of my feet to Lisa Simpson, a friend of ours who was running for president, and her major platform was human trafficking. So I donated the shoes off of my feet and the dress off of my back to her campaign, and she actually wore it for her human trafficking walk. And I said, there, now you've stood in the shoes of a trafficker and the clothes, like you were able to do it. So, yeah. That's the story of my shoes.
Yeah. Now I hope you're wearing tennis shoes nowadays, right?
Shoot, I don't leave the house to wear shoes. I'm in slippers all the time, but that's part of the trauma is I have really, really bad social anxiety. I really have to trust who I'm leaving the house with. And then okay, without getting political, I live in Minneapolis, 3.5 miles from where 2020 happened at. So I just, everything around me doesn't feel safe.
Yeah. We need to get you out of there.
Yeah. Eventually here.
Well,
And then
Rob,
coming up on the year since the fire, I've been through it this year. Going into a better 2026 though, right? Yes!
Hopefully, right?
Rob, you got anything else?
No, I just want to say I appreciate it. It was really amazing. This was an amazing interview, and thank you for doing it. I appreciate it. It was awesome.
No problem. No problem. If you guys, talk and if you want me back in later date, let me know. I'm always open to you guys. Amanda's got my number. All I need is an hour notice.
All right. Any closing words of wisdom for anyone out there struggling that you can share right before we close this out?
The holidays suck, you guys. Families suck, and I'm sorry for that. But love the people who love you, and that's what matters this holiday season. Don't force what you don't want to do. Do what you want to do for you. Love your family. And if that family is not blood, that doesn't matter. And I love you all, and I hope you guys come check me out on TikTok because I want to talk to you guys more.
All right. We love you. Thank you so much, Wendy. You're the bomb.
Love you. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Bye, guys. I'm going to close it out with my intro again. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on.
My name is Amanda Joan of Heart. I've had prophetic dreams, angelic encounters, revelations, and a vision from God to bring awareness to modern moral issues. I want to share my creative arts, poetry, experiences, and stories with you. God is abundantly above and beyond what we could have asked or even imagined. And the most important truth that exists is love.